Es ist ein wunderschöner Dienstag und so wie es sich gehört, haben wir heute auch mal wieder nach langer Zeit ein Interview mit einem WWE-Superstar und er ist ein sehr glücklicher Mann. Er ist happy, er ist sehr happy. Sein Name ist Happy Corbin. Zunächst einmal möchte ich euch begrüßen. Schön, dass ihr wieder dabei seid hier auf Instagram Live. Mein Name ist Valandi Zanti. Ich leihe meine Stimme und ein wenig auch mein Herz. SmackDown jeden Samstag auf Pro7 Max. Natürlich könnt ihr auch Raw mit den werten Kollegen Sebastian Hackel und Holger Böschen sehen. Home of WWE sind wir hier. Die ersten sind schon da. Ich sehe auch schon aus Österreich die ersten. Und bevor wir lange fackeln, eure Fragen natürlich gerne in den Chat an Happy Corbin. Und ich schaue, er wartet und ich lasse ihn. Dann warten wir noch ein paar Augenblicke, bis die Verbindung steht. Und dann werden wir hier auch schon anfangen. There he is. There he is.
I'm in.
Happy Corbin.
How's it
Great to
going?
see you. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. We both got our movie posters on the wall. I got Mars Attacks. You got Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. I got my James Bond collection over there. I'm hyped because world premiere is today and tomorrow in Germany, and I still don't have my tickets.
No, you got to pull some strings to get some tickets.
Definitely, definitely. I thought as WWE announced it that worked, but it didn't. I don't know.
You should have brought me out there. Maybe I could have pulled a few strings for you, and we could go watch it.
When are you going to be in Germany? Then we should do that.
It's been a minute. The last time we were there, I was in Frankfurt. Where are you guys at?
We're in Munich.
Okay.
Pro7 Max is in Munich.
So we need to come there.
Cool.
That way I can eat some good food.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Food's a thing, right? I followed you on Instagram. Man, you got a lot of things going. Where are your plans?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely a big cook. I definitely barbecue nonstop, smoke nonstop. You know, I like to get in the kitchen and throw down. So that's why the great thing about traveling the world is I get to try all these different foods from all over the world.
What's your favorite food? All right, barbecue first.
I'm a steak guy. If you ask me
Okay.
my last meal, I'm getting steak. Or if I just want to like not have a healthy meal, I'm gonna get just a gigantic cheeseburger or a piece of pizza.
A cheeseburger and a pizza. I think you made some guys happy right here in the chat. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah.
I produced for 10 years cooking shows and
You did?
home shopping. So, yeah, really.
Let's go.
I think we need to do something over there.
I'm
because
in.
That sounds interesting. But I have to get to the James Bond topic before we go. Because who's your favorite James Bond actor?
Oh man, I'm loving Daniel Craig because I just think he is everything you want in a James Bond. And my father-in-law, those are his favorite movies of all time. He has every single one on, Apple TV, and we watch them all. I enjoyed Sean Connery as well, and but I think Daniel Craig, just the way he looks in a suit, drives a car, and kicks people's butts. I feel like he is who you want as James Bond, and just the way, I don't know. There's just something about him. He has that it factor where you just, as soon as he turns and looks at the camera, you're like, all right, this is about to go down. And then, like I said, I want the new James Bond Omega watch. I have the Omega Quantum of Solace watch, but this new one is amazing.
Do you have it somewhere? I need to see that. Or is it?
Yeah, it's downstairs in the safe.
Okay.
That's
cool.
I'll send you a picture of it.
Cool,
really
cool,
neat.
very cool.
But the new one is titanium.
Amazing,
So
amazing. Yeah, cool. And then titanium, I also did some watches. We could talk about everything right now. I guess. Really, I did a lot of
Seems
stuff.
like we'd be best friends instantly.
I had one, and he was saying titanium watches can do this. I said, stop it. Whatever you're just saying, there's some phenomenal stuff over there with some sale stuff. This is not interesting for our Pokemon universe, but it's interesting for the both of us. That's why I had to get
I
that.
think they find it interesting because they get to dive into what our lives are outside the ring a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right.
Maybe somebody that's watching this right now is like, oh, I didn't know Corbin liked to cook. I'm going to check out his Instagram, and maybe they find a recipe that changes their life.
And I recommend it at Baron Corbin WWE on Instagram. Go check that man out. He has some great videos. He trolled The Miz after the first game in the NFL, and that was worth it. That was funny. I had fun. And let's get to SmackDown right now, which you can watch in Germany. Only on Saturday, 10 p.m. I had to get that plug in on ProSiebenMax. The past couple of months, I have to admit, you were one of the most entertaining parts. First, you had that downward spiral. Now you're the happiest guy, the happiest man on SmackDown. Yeah. How do you feel?
I mean, I feel great because when you're at the bottom, you saw me. My shirt, I had stains on it. My beard, I couldn't cut my beard. My hair was out of control. You know, we're fellow bald brothers here. We both, you know, it doesn't look good when you're just growing the sides out. So it was nice to get a cut and a fresh shave and get a good steak in my belly because, you know, when I was having my run of bad luck, it was canned foods and it just was not a fun experience. I was wearing a dirty shirt for months. So imagine being at your absolute worst for a couple months and then all of a sudden hitting the jackpot in Vegas. Who wouldn't be the happiest guy in the world?
Telling you, the mayor of Jackpot City, that's the way you proclaimed yourself, and it's fun. It's fun. It's really great. This coming week is the big draft show. And for the fans, for us, just watching from the outside, it's a very special occasion, a lot of anticipation for us. How's it for you? How's the atmosphere backstage before and after the show?
It's the same. The anticipation is wild because I have no idea where I'm going to end up. I don't know if I'm going to end up on Raw or if I'm going to end up on SmackDown. And, you know, we look at it and go, well, if I change shows, it changes everything. It changes my days that I'm home, my days off. It changes my workout schedule because certain days I'm on the road and I don't want to do, like for me, I don't want to do a heavy leg day before I go and do television. So it changes my whole schedule around. So it's not just about WWE and what show we're on. Like it's our life. It encompasses everything we do. And so when you change our nights, it's pretty wild because everything flips. So it's exciting. Change is good. I think change is good for the WWE universe to get a little mix up in the rosters. Some people, you know, for them, let's say they're a humongous Matt Riddle fan, but they work Monday nights and they can't watch Raw and he's on Raw. So then he gets drafted to SmackDown. Now all of a sudden they can see their favorite superstar live in action when they're home. So it's fun and exciting for everybody, not just the superstars, but I think the fans, I think the producers, I think the television programs. You know, we're on Fox, we're on USA, you know, we're on different channels all over the world. And I think it's exciting for them because they'll get different superstars on their programming at different times. And it's a fantastic thing.
And it's great because there's a lot of speculation right now, and a lot of speculation. It's always fun.
It is. I mean, on my part, like I try to, like I was just talking to my wife yesterday. I'm going, do I want to be on SmackDown or do I want to go to Raw and maybe have a change of scenery? Do I want to see different superstars in the ring? I don't understand which one would be best for my career, which one would be best for Happy Corbin. So it's going to be exciting to find out where I am and what I can do on that show.
Let's say you stay on SmackDown. Who do you wish would come over to SmackDown from Raw?
I mean, I would love to see AJ Styles come over. I think what he did on SmackDown when his first run over there was so amazing. Plus, I love sharing the ring with that guy. I would love to go to battle with him again. Maybe, you know, AJ Styles versus Happy Corbin at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship or something. You know, maybe he gets the Universal Championship. Who knows? And I see him at WrestleMania. Like, that would be awesome. I think we have a lot of chemistry in the ring, and I can really throw him a long way. So that's fun as well. So I would love to see him come over and be a part of SmackDown again.
Perhaps a vicious question. Who do you wish should go to Raw from SmackDown?
I take Shinsuke and him and his crown stealing self, send them to get them off my show. They made my life miserable. They took me down in the dumps. They made it a struggle to go to work every day because I was just having a rough patch. So you can take Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs, tell them to pack their bags, send them to Raw.
And then the Intercontinental Championship would leave. I think we should have a rematch before that.
I agree, so I can keep for us. But yeah, pack it.
And the good thing is, while speaking, because you said Nakamura and Rick Boogs, they're two, and they were basically 2-on-1 against you. And now you have support on your hands. You premiered Happy Talk, and we saw some support for you. Perhaps you want to fill us in.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is going to be an important role in my future, I think. He's there to entertain me, make me laugh, bring a smile to my face, and he did just that on Friday. Helped me beat up Kevin Owens. I've just got somebody watching my back now. I learned my lesson from dealing with Shinsuke when he had a friend in his corner that was a distraction or was just plain rude. There were times where he was insulting me, or there were times where he decided to put his hands on me, and it put me at a disadvantage. So I decided to employ someone in my corner to watch my back.
And I'm anxious to see. I really want to see how this ends up. It's interesting because it's a constellation we haven't seen before, and it basically came out of nowhere. I remember seeing that. Who is that? Oh, I didn't expect that. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing on TV. When you just say, I didn't expect that, because sometimes it's like, yeah, I know what happens. No, this is something you didn't know.
Our ultimate goal is to keep the audience on their toes, to keep the people who enjoy what we do guessing, and hopefully they guess wrong and we surprise them. I mean, it's a hard thing to do nowadays with the internet and all of those things that play to spoilers and leaks and whatnot. So when we can truly surprise the fans, it's something special.
And it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. Guys, share this stream. Follow at Baron Corbin WWE. We have more to come. I want to ask you, because you have your support right now. A couple of weeks ago, you had another surprise coming. It was Logan Paul, also a very controversial figure, to say the least.
Yeah.
He's standing by your side. Say about that man what you want to do, what you want, but he's a legit fighter, and he's doing a lot of stuff. Perhaps you can tell us about your experiences with him.
Absolutely. I mean, it was great. We found a common ground that people don't like us, and we had a conversation about that, and we're both finding success. You know, I found mine in Vegas. He's finding his on YouTube, and he's finding his through the boxing world. I mean, he went the distance with Floyd Money Mayweather, which is something not a lot of people have done. And he's someone I thought that also that could kind of be part of the group and have some fun and irritate some people, but he can back it up. He backs up his mouth, which is more than most people can do. Like, as you see this chat rolling through, there are people that are like, I hate you, I don't like you. Not one of those people can back up what they say. Not one of them. They're sitting at home with a fake picture emoji on their Instagram, probably in their mom's basement, and they're like, "This is my chance to tell Happy Corbin I don't like him." But in reality, in person, they'd be like, "Hey, can I please have your autograph? Can I get a picture?" They back up what they say. So I want people around, and Logan Paul is one of those guys that can back up what he says, back up the trash he talks, and he's a polarizing figure. Like you said, say what you will, people are gravitating to what he does. They want to watch everything he does, and they say, oh, I hate that guy, but they tune in every single time, and that's a special quality.
I'm not sure. I think you were voted once the most hated wrestler. Is that do I remember that correct? Isn't that the best compliment you can make?
It is. It was in a magazine. I've won a few awards like that. I won most hated ever, which was awesome. I had a full magazine spread.
Ever.
I've got, the most medal athlete award. Those are definitely things that go on my trophy wall, and they are important because I strive to be the best at whatever it is I'm doing, and my job is to get people to hate me, and obviously I'm doing that really well if I get voted most hated.
And you have also, you said about Logan Paul backing it up. And now I have to say, you back it up. And now the fans will go crazy. But let's say it this way. You've been a staple on WWE programming for years, whether it be Raw, SmackDown. And the one important thing is you constantly evolve. You were the lone wolf in the beginning. You were the constable, the general manager. We were talking about your bad luck time that you had. Now you're after Vegas, you're the happiest guy. How do you, what is the biggest key to that success? Because this is something special here.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's the evolution. You have to evolve or die in this industry. You cannot stay the same. I mean, Seth Rollins is another guy who evolves. He moves from thing to thing where he was, you know, a tactician. Then he went in to burn it down. And now, you know, he's a little bit got some screws loose with some crazy suits. Like, you have to be able to evolve or you die. If you just stay the same, I mean, even Roman Reigns has evolved to something on top of a mountain. Right now, he is on his A game. And the guys who stay the same, they see their time come to an end. You know, they see less and less TV minutes, and it's one of those things. So I think a lot of things go into it. It's when is the right time to evolve? When has what I'm doing become stale or need that evolution? And I pride myself on trying to do that. That was a conversation I had with Undertaker. It was asking him, you know, when's the right time to evolve? Because even he did. He went from the dead man to the American badass. And he's like, you just have to feel it. You have to know. And I think we've done a good job of staying aware of when I need to kind of evolve. And it allows me to evolve my skill set as well. You know, like we said, we started with the lone wolf. Then I went to a king. I was on top of the world with the king. And then we went down the dumps. I never in my life looked at my career and go, man, I'm going to have a point where I'm going to be down the dumps with a dirty shirt on and ketchup stains and, you know, walking to work and all of those things. But it was something that we hit and realized it was special. And I go, okay, how do we maximize it? How do we make this the best absolute thing I do? And I thought we did a killer job with it. And then, you know, my luck turned. So now we're on top of the world. And it's a different evolution to what I do and my career. When I look back at a 10, 12 year career, I want to say that, look, I was prime television for 10 years, which I'm on my way. I feel like when I was doing Lone Wolf, I was factored in. I was a Money in the Bank winner, which my briefcase I like to always show people's hanging right there in the ceiling.
And it's from the
you know, the awesome. United States champion. And so then I evolved into the constable, a different outfit, different look. And I was on television for a 3-hour show. I was on it for over an hour. Like, it was something that not many people could do that. It could keep up with the workload for that. Then evolving to the king, and again, prime spots. I mean, I've worked with every top superstar there is, from John Cena. I've been in the ring with The Rock, Kurt Angle, beat Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. You know, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, all these guys where we main evented for like 3 years straight. And it was something that a lot of people never get 6 months in the main event picture. And I spent 3 years, and now we're evolving to get back to that level. It's that constant evolution to keep yourself at the top of the game. And I want to do that for 10 years.
You just said you stepped in the ring with huge names in WWE. What are your biggest takeaways when stepping in the ring against those guys?
Moments. I think a lot of people don't think about that, but what we do is we create moments in history. And, you know, the first ever show on Fox, I was in the ring with The Rock and Becky Lynch, and that was a moment. He came out, and that will be forever remembered. Kurt Angle, being in the ring and having my hand raised at WrestleMania over an Olympic gold medalist, a Hall of Famer. That is a moment in time that will never be erased. You know, the times with John Cena, it's when you're in the ring with those guys, you truly feel those moments. Like, you understand how valuable they are. And if you don't, that's your own fault, and you don't deserve to be there. But when you have that chance to be in there and you don't just take it all in, you're missing out on why we're here.
You just showed your Money in the Bank briefcase and saying John Cena. That was a really, on the one hand, you had this huge Money in the Bank briefcase, the contract, and like everyone was expecting, well, usually in a lot of cases, this guy wins the WWE or Universal Championship. It wasn't this way. It was John Cena. How perhaps you can fill us in how you felt during this time.
I mean, that was hard because, and I'm the next guy. I'm the next WWE champion or Universal champion. It's mine. I've got the just the gift that will get me there, and it did not work out. John Cena spoiled that for me. I think he's still mad that he cashed in and lost with the Money in the Bank briefcase, so he tried to ruin mine. And I still owe him. I don't forget. I hold those grudges for my entire life, and so maybe if I get that opportunity to get in the ring with John Cena again, I've grown wiser. I've developed my skills to another level, and I'd like to put it on John Cena one last time.
That would be interesting. And the winner gets the James Bond role in the next movie.
Yeah.
I have one surprise.
I want to drive the Aston Martins around like James Bond. Let me fly around in those.
I wanted to show it at the end. That's the Aston Martin from, I don't see, from Goldfinger, if you can see it there.
Amazing. One of my favorite movies, also one of my favorite video games, was the James Bond GoldenEye, when you could get the golden gun on the N64. Right? On mode. Bad news for people.
GoldenEye was also the movie with a soundtrack from Tina Turner back then. That was, I actually watched it a couple of weeks ago. Again, we lost track, but I love this thing. I kind of like this. Jose Max is also the home of the NFL, actually. And we were talking about evolving, and perhaps the obvious thing is when you look at pictures from yourself during your time as an offensive lineman, I guess you were one of the biggest guys.
Oh, yeah.
That there were, and now it's like you trimmed down a lot. And I want to ask you, what is the biggest transition physically and also the way you approach mentally in WWE in contrast to the NFL or the American football times?
So most definitely, physically I had to change my diet, my workout, how I did things that pertain to my body, because in the NFL, it was to be as big and as strong as possible. I was, 330 pounds at one point, and I was bench pressing over 500, squatting over 700, deadlifting like 1,000 pounds. But I was humongous. Like I had to hold my breath to tie my shoes because my belly was so big. It was one of those things. So then, transitioning to WWE, I had to change all of that. And it still is a struggle every day because I had a lifetime of eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, because I just needed to be big, and it was unhealthy. And now I'm about 270 right now. So I'm down 60 pounds, if you will. And I'm having to eat a lot cleaner, but I still revert to those big fat kid things every once in a while where, I've got a daughter and she will get a thing of Oreos every once in a while. If I eat one, I'm going to eat 25. It's hard to, stay strong at times. So that it's still a struggle for that, for sure. And then, transitioning from the NFL and football and other things I did where Golden Gloves, we always taught never show emotion. We don't show you're hurt, don't show you're tired, don't show that you're in pain. And now we want to take those emotions, multiply them by 1,000 and convey it to millions of people around the world. That's, I think, one of the biggest transitions for me was now taking all that emotion that I basically held inside for years through sports and now convey it to not only the kid in the front row, to the kid way up in the nosebleed section, to everybody at home watching around the world. It's one of those things that's not easy to do, to convey emotion like that. So those were the two biggest things, body-wise, and then outside of that to transition.
Awesome. One topic I have to ask you is your finish. The end of days is, I would say, one of the most, if not the most devastating finishes in WWE during your beginnings in NXT. I remember calling those matches. The crowd was counting along until you show the end of days. That were awesome times. I really have to ask you, for fans here in Germany, how did you come up with the end of days?
So it's kind of an accident, believe it or not. NXT has like a crash pad ring where it's a soft ring and you can try new things. And I was just in the ring one day playing around with a guy at the time named Solomon Crow. And he did this jumping through the rope DDT kind of thing where he would spring off the bottom rope and kind of jump and catch you for a DDT. But I had caught him wrong and we just kind of did it. And when it happened, we both set up and we're like, whoa, that was something. Like, that was something. Then we did it again and again. And then I filmed it and was like, that's it. Like, that's my finish. And it was kind of a culmination of the both of us. And again, it happened by accident. And so as soon as I did it, it was like one of those things, you just feel it. And I was like, that's it. That's my move. And it has done wonders for me because it's one. Anytime I've ever hit it, I've won. No one's ever kicked out. And that's important to me, to keep that thing pure. And it's something that's special. And it did. In NXT, it was exciting when the crowd would count down the seconds. And, it might be 13 seconds, might be 30. But I got the job done quick.
Guys, check that out on WWE Network. Those NXT times, what Happy Corbin just said were fun times to watch, and you can check that also to get another plug-in. Happy Corbin, I would like to ask you some quick questions coming to the end because I already spoiled that I have the James Bond cars. Are you ready? You answer with one sentence or less as you wish.
Absolutely.
Okay. Rich and famous or rich and unknown? I think we lost him. Are you there?
Here for a second.
Okay.
My timer, I allow myself 20 minutes of social media a day, and I forgot to turn it off.
I get it. That's the best timer you have. All right.
Question one.
Okay, question one. Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and unknown all day long.
Cool, man. Dog or cat?
Dog. I got a 170-pound Great Dane.
127 pounds. I need another picture. Oh, my gosh. Suit or leather jacket?
Suit. I'm a suit guy.
Suit. Your toughest match in WWE?
Kurt Angle at Wrestling.
Okay. Perhaps I have to ask for some details. Was it the crowd? Was it the match? What made it so tough?
I mean, definitely the crowd, the nerves of being in the ring with a legend like him, and just knowing how dangerous he is. It takes one mistake and he can break your ankle off. Cool.
And to finish this, the one opponent you want to face in the future in WWE?
Reigns at the level he's at right now.
Cool.
Randy Orton with a chance. Fine.
And after the end of days, we know it's 1, 2, 3, and we got a new champion.
That's right.
It was a blast. I gotta say, thank you, Happy Corbin. It was great that you had some time for our fans here in Germany. It's your time to plug everything right now.
Absolutely. No, just tune in. Just watch what we do. Enjoy what we do. If you enjoy it, then everybody around you will enjoy it. That's the most important thing. I think when people tune into WWE, have fun. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Look at the positives. Find something you love. Grab onto it and take it for a ride.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Follow that man at Baron Corbin WWE and have fun with it in a new James Bond movie. And then next time we'll talk about it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, meine Lieben, ich bin noch einen Augenblick da. Danke, dass ihr dabei wart. Auch an diejenigen, die den Stream nochmal geteilt haben. Jetzt gehe ich nochmal eine Minute schnell durch. Ich habe auch ein paar internationale Stimmen hier gelesen. Das hat mich sehr gefreut, dass ihr auf jeden Fall dabei wart für das ganze Interview. Happy Corbin, sehr interessante Ansichten, die er da gemacht hat, die er uns auch gegeben hat zu seiner Zeit, zu seinen Erfahrungen mit Logan Paul. Ihr könnt das Video natürlich bei uns auf dem Instagram-Channel vom ProSieben Max noch sehen. Mir dürft ihr gerne folgen, @valandizanti ebenfalls auf Instagram und natürlich Happy Corbin, Baron Corbin könnt ihr sehen jeden Samstag auf ProSieben Max ab 22 Uhr. Je nachdem, ob Football ist, plus minus 5 Minuten, eher so rum. Und dann sehen wir uns da, hören uns. Natürlich nicht vergessen, morgen Abend ist entsprechend Raw ab 22 Uhr auf ProSieben Max. Es gibt nicht viel mehr zu sagen, außer danke an euch. Danke, dass ihr jedes Mal dabei wart. Wir hören und sehen uns das nächste Mal zu einem schönen Interview oder was wir auch Tolles machen können. Also folgt uns und wir halten euch auf dem Laufenden. Schönen Dienstag euch noch.